Welcome in, everybody. Marc Farzy here for the Farzy Show, presented by Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com from the Steven Singer Studios. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend, and hopefully the Phillies will round out their four-game series with a victory over the St. Louis Cardinals today, with Aaron Nola on the hill with a 7:15 start time. So let's cross our fingers for that. I had a lovely weekend, and as I said, I hope you guys do. It started off with a little Costco run with the missus. I've told you guys how I've recently discovered Costco. I'm late to that party. But as I'm walking around the 10-pound jars of mayonnaise, I see a little tweet come across from Sham Sharani about James Harden. And that deal gets done, so we'll examine that on the show today. Much to my delight, that deal gets done. Then I end up driving up Saturday to a wedding I had to go to in New York. Cousin of mine got married, and it was just a beautiful ceremony. And I'm going to tell you this. My cousin Allie, God bless her. She's an actress. She married an actor. They're both actors, right? And I had never seen this before at a wedding. They introduced their bridal party. Boss move, if you ask me. The MC, the DJ of the wedding, said, now I'm going to hand things over to the bride and groom. And they did the introductions. I went over to my cousin after. I said, Allie, that was a boss move. Boss move. And it was funny. It was a great time. They did a wonderful job with it. Everyone there, like a lot of their friends were all like actors as well. So it was, oh, man, that dance floor. Ooh, that was some stiff competition on the dance floor with those people. God bless them. But it was a lovely time that we had. And congrats to my cousin Allie and her new husband, Britt, as well. So we had a lovely time. But I'm following the Phillies throughout yesterday leading up to the wedding. And my wife and I go to a bar down the street from the venue, and we're just having a good time. And I have the game on my phone, and I'm watching the Phillies game on my phone. And I see a couple of great things happen, a couple of bad things happen. In the great line, I see a 28th home run by all-star Kyle Schwarber, which was great to see. I see Kyle Schwarber flash some leather. But in between those two things, as he had a diving catch in left field, but in between those two things, there was a moment in the second inning where I'm thinking, what the hell is he doing? And it was that throw that he made to no one at third base, which allowed a run to score. And I'm scratching my head going, well, that's out of character. That's odd. And then a little bit later in the ball game, the Phillies are still enjoying a bit of a lead, 3-2 lead. The bullpen starts struggling a little bit throughout this game, really as a bullpen game. And I told you guys on Friday how great this bullpen had been playing, how great they had been pitching, most notably Sir Anthony Dominguez, who comes into this game in the eighth inning and has his own struggles allowing the game-winning run, although Matt Vierling almost helped him escape with a great throw home. Just a little bit offline, and they couldn't make the tag with JT Realmuto catching yesterday, and it was a bit of a struggle, and it ended up being the game-winning run scored by the Cardinals. But Sir Anthony Dominguez has been one of, if not your best arm out of the bullpen for whenever he's been available this season. And I have certainly been banging the drum for him to be the closer. Corey Knebel gave you a little bit of a heart attack the day before, coming out of the bullpen in the closer's role yet again, but still was able to get that save. And I was waiting for Sir Anthony Dominguez to slam that door, and it wasn't the case. Comes up with a walk, his first walk in what seems like a million years. And we'll get to what Rob Thompson had to say about Sir Anthony Dominguez and whether or not they're using him too much, whether or not they're grinding on him was the word that Rob Thompson used yesterday. But he has been one of the most consistent guys in the Phillies bullpen, if not the most consistent guy all year long. And to see him have a little bit of a struggle yesterday and end up costing the Phillies the game, unfortunately, it was one of those things that I just felt like he's been so great all year. You're bound to have a slip-up. You're bound to have a game where you don't have your best stuff. And he struggled, and he was so close to getting the Phillies out of the jam. And it just didn't go that way. So the Phillies now take the field tonight, looking to win this series with the Cardinals. And they went in with St. Louis. They went into St. Louis, tied with the Cardinals at even Stevens for the third and final wild card spot in the National League. And now they're going to try to come out of this series with a 2-game advantage. Now they're 1 game up. After tonight, they'll try for a 2-game advantage. Here's what Rob Thompson had to say about Sir Anthony Dominguez and the struggles that he had in yesterday's ball game.
He was just, it's 3 out of 4 for him. And we've been grinding on him a little bit. So I think he was just, his location was off a little bit today, and they got to him.
I think Caleb went out there, right? before that at bat? Before, as Goldschmidt was coming up, do you know what that was about? Just approach?
Just talking about the matchup.
Okay.
While they're going to attack.
Because you mentioned the 3 out of 4, how much of a concern is keeping him good and healthy and fresh and workload?
Major concern. I mean, it's always on our mind. Make sure that he's right. It's still coming off the injury. So we just got to be careful with him. But he looked like he was a little bit not tired, but fatigued. I don't know what it is, but he's been working pretty hard.
How do you think his stuff was?
I thought the velo was still up there pretty good, but I just think he was missing spots. And, so.
You comfortable with the workload he's had up to this point? In other words, do you think you're pushing him too much?
I don't think so.
Or
no, I don't
you
think
could
so.
keep using him
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we've pushed him too hard, but I'm always watching it and making sure that we don't push him over the edge.
Well, hopefully you don't push him over the edge, and that's something that we'll be crossing our fingers that you don't do. But since May 21st, Sir Anthony Dominguez had not allowed a walk. Since May 21st. And then yesterday, he issues his first walk, ends up obviously costing the Phillies. So, again, it was one of those situations that you just felt like, okay, well, you know what? He's been so great. This is one that you're just not going to be able to get back, unfortunately. So let's hope the Phillies put a bow on it today. They're able to take 3 of 4 in this 4-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals and then roll into Toronto. And we'll see how that series goes out. It's one of the reasons you had a bullpen game is because you had to shuffle your rotation because of who's going to be available and who's not going to be available for this Toronto series is your starting pitcher. So at least you get Aaron Nola to round out this very important series with a team that you're battling for playoff positioning for. Now, I remember a year, and I want to say it was 2009, where Ryan Howard, I believe, led the league in home runs and RBIs and was not voted to the All-Star game. And I thought it would be a travesty if Kyle Schwarber did not make it into the All-Star game after 28 home runs in the first half of the season, the pre-All-Star break half of the season. And sure enough, yesterday he gets informed that he is going to the All-Star game, and I couldn't be happier for that man. Because while we've been waiting for guys like Nick Castellanos to step up, and he had an RBI single yesterday, good for him. And I'm going to say this after every time he does something well, I just feel like I have to say this. And hopefully this is him breaking out of it. But the guy that has been the most steady guy in this lineup over the last month and a half has been Kyle Schwarber. And that's probably the most obvious statement you can make about the Phillies right now. But when you don't have that guy step up, when you don't have that guy that you also brought in the offseason to try to bolster your lineup, and he doesn't perform like Nick Castellanos, it's very noticeable, and it's very frustrating. But for every ounce of Nick Castellanos' struggles, Kyle Schwarber has been an all-star player. And I know you can talk about Zach Wheeler and what he's brought to the table this year, certainly. But the guy that I think has been carrying this team, especially since Bryce Harper went out, has been Kyle Schwarber. And I was listening. The guy's great. Max McGee, he's been on the show. He's a local guy from South Jersey, Temple grad, ESPN anchor. He was doing the highlights yesterday. I heard him say, definitely Kyle Schwarber working his way into the MVP conversation. I'm thinking to myself, I know that his batting average isn't anything worth bragging about, but when it comes to those home runs, only Aaron Judge has more home runs than him in the majors. Of course, Aaron Judge now with 30 and Kyle Schwarber with 28. Kyle Schwarber leading the National League. It's an amazing thing to see what he has done over the last month and a half of the season. And if he keeps this going in, record pace, you're talking about only Michael Jack Schmidt having more home runs by the All-Star break than Kyle Schwarber has right now. Ryan Howard hit 28 home runs twice before the All-Star break. But I thought it would have been a travesty if he did not make the All-Star, did not make the All-Star team. And here he is, an all-star, which is phenomenal and great to see him on that stage because he certainly earns it. If you're carrying a team that is now, if the season ended today, in the playoff standings, then I think you deserve to be in the all-star game because that right there is the definition of an all-star. And on top of it, it's not some consolation prize either. It's not just, you need somebody from the Phillies, so it might as well be Kyle Schwarber. No, it feels like this man deserves every ounce of accolades that he gets. for what he's been able to do for the first half of this season for this Philadelphia Phillies ball club, because he has guaranteed you the time where you don't go to the concession stand. He guarantees you, all right, I want to make sure I watch this leadoff. I want to make sure I watch him lead off this ball game for the Phillies. Oh, he's coming up again in the next inning. I want to make sure I'm in my seat watching when he's at that plate. And that's what he has given us. And it's been thrilling to watch the production that he's had in his first half of a season as a Philadelphia Philly. It's been great. And let's, again, cross our fingers that everything else after him is falling into place as well. Phillies, again, start tonight, 7:15 start time as they wrap up this 4-game series in St. Louis. Aaron Nola on the bump tonight. So let's go back to Costco for a second, shall we? Just real quick. Does anybody else's wife do this? If you're walking around like a Costco or something, do they do this a lot? Do they go, oh, like that? Do they go, oh, rugs, oh, cereal, oh, toiletries, like anything like that? Because walking around, like we would pass, like an outdoor plastic plates or something like that. Oh, patio ware. Like what? Like it's like every aisle is a different magic trick. Oh, it was like, does anyone else? Just my wife? Just am I alone on this? Okay, just had to get off of my chest. But as I'm walking around, I get the little tweet alert from Sham, and I feel the phone go off, and I look at it and I go, oh, and what do I see? We'll do a 2-parter right here for you. Sham putting out there last Friday, James Harden taking a $15 million pay cut for next season that allows Philadelphia to elevate their roster with the sole focus on a championship run in 2023. Harden opted out of his $47 million player option and now plans to sign a 2-year deal with a player option in year 2. Everyone around the Harden deal, everyone around Harden has understood the focus on his workout regimen this offseason and a championship goal for the upcoming season. His close relationships with those in the organization, including Michael Rubin, now no longer a part owner, and Daryl Morey, played a major role in trust between the two sides. First off, team guy, baby. James Harden, team guy. Can't say it enough. I think he's at the point of his career, 33 years old next month. I think he's at the point of his career where he just wants to win. And I think this is the proof of that. And at the end of last year, if you remember, in his final press conference, he talked about how he was going to be here. He talked about how he was going to opt in. That ended up not being true. But he also said he was going to do what it takes to make sure that this team is in the best position possible to win. And that's exactly what he did just now by only taking a 2-year deal, essentially. But still, bottom line, $15 million pay cut. Now, he's going to get that money eventually in some way, shape, or form. But the fact that he's not taking it right now when it would be a guaranteed thing, the fact that he's not taking $47 million when it would be guaranteed in his back pocket, it shows you that a guy that has made $227 million in his career is all about winning right now. And whatever it's going to take to get PJ Tucker here, whatever it's going to take to make the odds and ends as the season progresses, as the season approaches, he's all for whatever you're going to need to do to make sure you have those proper glue guys between Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, and himself, and obviously PJ Tucker, who they already signed. That is a phenomenal thing to get from a guy that is now going to be a veteran leader on this team. He's already been doing that with Tyrese Maxey, and you've been not just seeing it in the offseason, but you saw it when the two were starting to play with one another, when James Harden had just got here and hadn't played yet because of the hamstring, and you saw him egging Tyrese Maxey on to drive the lane and be aggressive and continue to attack the rim. That's a veteran leader right there. And all the things that you heard about his last year in Houston and the last days in Houston before he got traded to the Nets, and then his last days in Brooklyn before coming to the Sixers, the thing that jumped out to me the most about that deal going through was in his introductory press conference, James Harden sat up there and talked about how he always wanted to be in Philadelphia. They just couldn't get the deal done. And ultimately chose his second choice, which was the Brooklyn Nets. Hearing that, I know you pass off his lip service. You can just say, James Harden, come on, he's just kissing up to us, whatever. But talking about how great the fans are, whatever, all that stuff. I took it as genuine. And I know a lot of people dismissed it as, oh, he's just kissing our ass right now. I took it as genuine. And I think ever since he has been here, he has been the model citizen. He has been a guy that I think wants to put winning first before everything else. And again, this deal proves it. And I think he's done a great job with Tyrese Maxey, trying to be more of a mentor to him and an on-the-court coach for him. And seeing those two work out together in the offseason is also a great thing. And I'd love to see Tyrese Maxey. And we've seen it before, already working that step-back three-point shot. James Harden has patented basically and made a career out of. I would love to see that game translate to Tyrese Maxey even more so in the upcoming season. But this Philadelphia team, this Philadelphia 76ers team is bound for success this year. I am very optimistic about what they'll be able to do with the addition of PJ Tucker and overall, most notably, the improvement of Tyrese Maxey. Because I think while we have discussed the possibility throughout the offseason of names like Zach LaVine or Bradley Beal, whoever it might be, I feel like ultimately the Sixers are going to be looking at Tyrese Maxey as the guy to be the, again, most improved player on the team, to take another step forward this upcoming season and be that guy that will be able to get you 22 to 25 points a night while Joel Embiid scoring close to 30 a night. And James Harden hopefully is getting you 10 to 13 assists a night. That's, I think, what the Sixers are betting on this offseason. And now you look at the better bench, the DeAnthony Melton, which was a great draft day trade that Daryl Morey made. I think you're already in a much better position than you were when you walked off the court at the end of last year. That's the number one thing. Then you look around the rest of the league and see the way other teams have played out, and you've got to still wait to see what happens with Kevin Durant, where he ends up going, and that'll really shift the balance of power. And I heard Malika Andrews talking about it when the deal was, when the announcement was made about Kevin Durant wanting a trade, thinking this is going to be a seismic shift in the NBA, and that could very well be, depending on where he ends up. But if you're looking at him going to Miami, you're thinking about a lot of problems that could go down between the Sixers and Miami, still trying to have to get past them in the East. The Celtics look like a team that's only going to be getting better. And now the Sixers still have to make sure they can, and not to mention the Milwaukee Bucks, who have already won a championship with the core that they have together right now. So things aren't going to be easy in the East. But the first thing you have to look at is how good are the Sixers versus what they were when they walked off the court last year after Game 6 against the Heat. And I think this is a much better basketball team that walked off the court. And I think a lot of that lies on Tyrese Maxey. I think a lot of it lies on James Harden and the role he's going to play. His health is going to play a big factor in this as well. But I think if he can downshift a little bit into that facilitator role, I think this team is going to make a lot of noise in the upcoming season. And I think they've done a great job of positioning themselves for a deep run in the playoffs. And if they can be one of the top two teams in the Eastern Conference and actually make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year, I know that it's going to turn a lot of people's heads. But I feel like as this post-process run has gone on, I feel like the expectations and the pressure has only mounted more and more. It has only grown. It has only gotten heavier and heavier as time has gone on. Because last year you're talking about the possibility of just being content with making it to an Eastern Conference Finals. And now as you're looking at another year older of Joel Embiid, and you're looking at this window to win now, closing and shrinking, and you end up signing a 37-year-old in PJ Tucker, oh, the expectation is like at least the Eastern Conference Finals now. The great expectation and desire is at least the Eastern Conference Finals now. I don't know if this fan base can take another second-round exit. And I think Daryl Morey is doing whatever he can. I think James Harden is also doing whatever he can to make sure that this team doesn't have another second-round exit. And the other part of it is I don't think they're done. I think you still have Thibault out there. I think you still have Tobias Harris out there. There could be another big deal coming, and they would have to move Tobias Harris if it was going to be a deal that is quite substantial. They would have to move him because of the money. But as I've been telling you all offseason, the James Harden stuff's great. The Tyrese Maxey stuff's great. We all know Joel Embiid's great, all that stuff. But the big thing is I want this team to be as close to what they will be at the end of the year when the season starts in terms of the roster. I don't want that big trade deadline move that will build in the excuse, well, we only had 20 games together. Please. For the most part, be the team roster-wise that you're going to be at the end of the year. You'll have the full year, the all training camp, the full year to get to know each other. There won't be any wrinkles to iron out come the playoffs. Everyone will know their role. In a perfect world, that's the way I think it falls into place. And at the trade deadline, maybe you go out and you get another backup center. Maybe you go out, you get another guy that can help you run the point for the second unit off the bench. Maybe you get that guy. But I think the Sixers have a lot of those pieces right now. I just want tweaks at the deadline. And as the season starts up, I want the starting five, I want that roster to look very similar to what it looks like in game 82. At the end of game 82, when you're just about to start the playoffs and hopefully, like I said, a deep playoff run. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for. And I think James Harden allowing the flexibility is a needed step in order for the Sixers to at least start out the season like that. So I was happy to see, obviously, that news come across from Shams Charania. Absolutely loved it. Here's what I didn't like. And as the season goes on, and as the offseason goes on and training camp starts up in, 3 weeks, not even, you're going to continue to see things about Jalen Hurts. You're going to start to see things about A.J. Brown and these guys working out together. And there's the story out there and the photo out there of Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown all working out. I believe it's at the Bro Barn, at Lane Johnson's Bro Barn, which is where Lane, of course, has built a Bro Barn in his property, a gym, essentially, to work out and all that stuff, which is great. And you would rather know that they're working out than not. So, fine. If it's not on social media, as we always say, did it even happen? And this happened. They worked out. But I saw this quote come across. I didn't hear it, but our friend Derek Gunn over there at Jacob Media, my good friend Derek Gunn, was talking about this. About one person, this is the quote from Jacob Media, one person, let me give you a scenario of what he went through in day-to-day practice. This is Jalen Hurts during the limited OTAs. It was a 10-play scenario. He had 3 picks, 4 incompletions, and 3 sacks. My thing here is why is that just coming out now? The Eagles only had, 6 practices, 2 of which the reporters were allowed to hang at for at least a portion of the time. That entire OTA stretch, all 6, they could have done 13, they did 6. But that entire time, I only heard good things about Jalen Hurts. I only heard about how he was dropping passes in a basket. He was slinging it. We talked to Davion Taylor. He was on this show talking about how Jalen Hurts looked so much better from what he was last year. When I asked him about arm strength, he was like, arm strength's fine. His accuracy has been really good at these practices. I have heard nothing but good things about Jalen Hurts. Why now? I thought, did I miss a practice? Because I thought we were in that dead zone, which we are, by the way, where you hear about NFL players unfortunately getting into trouble, as some have. But why now? I was feeling good going into training camp. And to be honest with you, I am still. Like, if you're having drills and practice and all of a sudden your quarterback isn't throwing the ball well in OTAs for a period of time, I'm not losing my mind over that. Because ultimately what matters is what happens on the field itself. When they actually, when they count. So a OTA session of a guy having a bad run of things is, for me, like watching a pitcher pitch his first couple of outings in spring training. I'm not looking for him to be throwing 99 miles per hour. I'm looking for him to get his mechanics down. If he was working on something in the offseason and his new mechanics, as we all know Jalen Hurts was, the first couple of practices might not be the best thing in the world. So to hear that he had a bad practice doesn't send me into a tizzy. I know for some people that want to reach for the hot take, they might go, oh, I told you this guy's going to struggle because of a bad OTA. Seriously? And look, here's what I take away. It's like what we take away from any offseason workout, video even, or even photo, like we had with Hurts and Brown and all those guys. Okay, they're practicing. They're working out. Whether that's together on their own or that's as a team at the NovaCare complex. All I care about is that they're working out. All I care is that he's practicing. All I care is that he's there and he's putting in the time. Now, training camp rolls around like it does in a couple of weeks. Joint practices happen. I doubt we'll see him in the preseason at all. I doubt we'll see him play in the preseason. But I only care about what's going to happen when the game starts. Now, if training camp does start, and he looks inaccurate, and oh man, he's holding on to the ball too long, and he's getting tagged in the backfield, literally getting tagged, not tackled. I want to make that clear with the red jersey on and all that. But if he's out there and he's making mistakes left and right, well, yeah, then it'll become a little bit of a concern. But like one bad practice in an OTA does not have me worried, and I am just, I heard nothing but good things about Jalen Hurts. I mean, his numbers were something like 20 for 24. Elliott Shore-Parks, by the way, brother, congratulations on getting married. Like, he'll keep the numbers for you. A lot of people keep the numbers for you now. I thought he had a good OTA run. But according to this source here from our good friend Derek Gunn, one person, said that he had a weak practice. I'm not going to lose my mind over Jalen Hurts having 1 week practice. I'm not going to do that. Not going to go down that rabbit hole. Not going to lose my mind on it. Everything else seemed just wonderful. Everything else just seemed lovely. Let me tell you guys about Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. Mike Seibert is a retirement income certified professional at Destination Retirement, LLC, and a partner of 1847 Financial and an advisor for Eagles, Sixers, and Phillies fans only. And maybe next year with John Tortorella, the Flyers as well. When it comes to long-term savings, why are you giving up the current enjoyment of your income? The answer is to have income streams in retirement. So it only makes sense then to understand how retirement income streams work so you can direct savings in ways that give you the highest income when you retire. Think of it like climbing a mountain. Is the objective just to get to the top of the mountain, or is the objective to get to the top and then safely back down the mountain? Think of it like this. Those are the 2 different phases of your financial life. Going up the mountain is your accumulation phase. Going down the mountain is your distribution phase. Let Mike show you an efficient way to help pay for your kids' college education and also retire on your own terms. Your first step is to avoid starting your growth cycle over by depleting accounts like 529s for big expenses like college, because you don't want to lose your position on your growth cycle and have to start over. You can't get that time back. Instead, set yourself up with the ability to use vehicles that you can take money out of without starting your growth cycle over again. Find out how your annual retirement savings can help your college savings and how your college savings can help your annual retirement savings. Michael, set up your own portal and retirement analyzer and then use the software to help you navigate through the different phases of your financial life. For questions or to set up a meeting with Mike, you can email him at gobirds@1847financial.com. That's gobirds at 1847financial.com, or you can call his office at 484-275-6035. 484-275-6035. You can also visit his website at destinationretirement.com. And as always, go Birds and let's go Phillies. How about Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right there on Jewelers Row? Steven Singer has been in the love business in Philadelphia for over 40 years. And for over 40 years, Philadelphia has been trusting Steven Singer with beautiful, dazzling diamonds, diamond engagement rings, diamond necklaces, diamond tennis bracelets. Steven has it all. But he's the only place that offers the perfect price guarantee. Sometimes, whether it's jewelry, whether it's a car, whatever it might be, something expensive, you always feel like you have to haggle or negotiate. There's a little bit of pressure in that. You always want to know that you're getting the best possible deal. Is the person next to me getting a better deal? No. At Steven Singer Jewelers, everybody's getting the same deal with the perfect price guarantee. So when you walk in, you know you're going to get taken care of like family, and there's no pressure because there's no negotiating. You don't have to worry about it. You sit down, you relax, you get walked through all the beautiful inventory from someone that is a real jewelry expert, and you'll get treated like family at Steven Singer Jewelers. That's why I've been going to Steven for over 15 years, and you should too. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price, the perfect price every day. Online at IHateStevenSinger.com, always fast and free shipping at IHateStevenSinger.com. Ladies and gentlemen, another new sponsor has joined up with the Farzy Show. We'd like to give a huge shout out to our friends at Manscaped. That's right. Manscaped. You've heard about him. You know about him. Fellas, are you using Manscaped? Because, gentlemen, I know we all strive for the gold in our lives, right? Gold medals, gold watches, gold everything. However, there's a certain type of man who goes the extra mile. He walks with confidence, the confidence of an eagle, and he giggles in the face of danger. He's a big, hairless, winning machine. And when he unzips his pants, he sees platinum? That's right. Manscaped. Platinum, baby. I'd like to introduce you to the biggest ultimate hygiene bundle yet, the Platinum Package 4.0 from Manscaped. Fellas, you want to look your best everywhere, right? Well, Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is the one-stop shop you'll need, as it includes the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose trim hair. That's right, you can trim your hair with this. And also skin-safe technology that helps reduce the risk of nicks so you can manscape with confidence and comfort. Plus, the ultra premium body wash, 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, deodorant, crop preserver, anti-chafing ball deodorant. Yeah, you heard me. Crop retriever, a ball spray toner as well, anti-chafing boxers, and the Shed travel bag. Something you can't go without. I brought mine up to New York with me. That's right. It's great. So do what I do, ladies and gentlemen. Use this incredible 4.0 Platinum package from Manscaped. Comfort and confidence. Look your best everywhere with Manscaped. And here's this. Check this out. Manscaped is the leader in below-the-waist grooming. And now you can trust them with the whole shebang, ladies and gentlemen. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com right now. That's manscaped.com. And for 20% off and free shipping, you can use promo code Farzy at manscaped.com for the Platinum 4.0 package. That's right, the Platinum Package 4.0. Promo code Farzy at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with promo code Farzy. Let me tell you about Rothman Orthopaedics. Remember the old you? The one that have to deal with a fickle knee or a finicky hip or a shoulder that no longer does what a shoulder should do? Trust the people at Rothman Orthopaedics. The Rothman approach to orthopedics will get you back to being you, back to working, back to walking, back to playing, back to running, back to living your life the way you want. With same-day appointments, you can start today at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. Rothman Orthopaedics, the official orthopedic partner of your Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers. That's RothmanOrtho.com. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs? That's PHLSportsNation.com. Ladies and gentlemen, have you checked out Freestone Farm CBD just yet? Log on to FreestoneFarmCBD.com. Also use promo code Farzy for 20% off your CBD oil. It is an amazing, amazing product. For all your CBD products, they grow all their premium hemp flower in the Garden State with all organic inputs and IPM. There's absolutely nothing synthetic from farm to jar. And after harvest, they carefully preserve all the plant compounds with a perfect 3-month cure. So log on to FreestoneFarmCBD.com right now. Use promo code Farzy for 20% off at checkout. And their menu at FreestoneFarmCBD.com is something incredible. Like their insane tropical tasting Bayox that clocks into the chart topping 24.1% and Super CBD, which is half Hindu Kush. That's Kush. And 21%. The genetics are off the charts. So log on right now to FreestoneFarmCBD.com. That's FreestoneFarmCBD.com. Use promo code Farzy for 20% off your CBD order. FreestoneFarmCBD.com. How about the awesome people at Versus Game, ladies and gentlemen? Versus Game, let the games begin. Log on to Versus Game right now. Download the app to your phone and answer the questions that we have at Farzy Show. Follow at Farzy Show on Versus Game and win yourself some great stuff from the awesome people at Versus Game. That's Versus Game. Download to the App Store or Google Play Store right now and play along with at Farzy Show. Let's jump into the chat check, ladies and gentlemen, see how everybody's doing. Kevin, good morning. Mickey, good morning. Sean Gillespie, what's going on? Alex, what's happening? Everyone with the Mally, smoke them if you got them, my friend, as always. T-Bro, I just bought the Kirkland golf balls from from Costco. I've never used them before. I'm going to be golfing later in the week. So I just need to know, are they like hitting rocks? I know everyone told me they were like the Titleist Pro V1s or whatever. I'm not good enough at golf to care about the golf ball itself. So if you're along the same lines as me, just let me know if I'm down the right track, at least, if I'm down the right path. Mickey Diaz, the Harden move is absolutely awesome. Not only setting up his legacy as a team player, but further solidifies his desire to bring a championship to Philly. It's up to Daryl to build the right squad. This is fascinating, Mickey, because and I said this at the time, but we've talked a lot about all the things that have gone wrong. Like literally, like the process almost could not have gone worse in terms of, yes, you have Joel Embiid, but as I always have told you, you could have tanked for Joel Embiid. You didn't have to go through a whole process for Joel Embiid. You got other assets and other trades and all that stuff, but you got 2 first-round picks, or excuse me, 2 number 1 overall picks, and Ben Simmons and Marc Fultz that aren't even here anymore. Like that's not going well. That means it didn't go well. You ended up using Ben Simmons to bring in what's his name? To bring in James Harden, obviously. But for those 2 things to go wrong, if you would have told me at the start of the process, yeah, you're going to get 2 number 1 overall picks, but neither one of them are going to be here after like 4 years, you would have thought, well, why the hell am I doing this? If you would have told me James Harden was going to come to Philadelphia, turn down $47 million, and take a $15 million pay cut, and then do an option for a second year, I would have told you you're crazy. That's not happening. Who in the right mind is going to turn down $47 million? That's not happening. Like the odds of 2 number 1 overall picks and a possibly last big paycheck, veteran 32-plus basketball player saying no to that deal. The odds of those 3 things happening are insane. And yet they've happened here in Philadelphia. Now let's just hope it bears actual fruit and they win a championship. Or at least give us something that will be wild cause for optimism at the end of the year. Mally, Mark, stop talking poop emoji about Nick. I assume that's Castellanos. So Nick don't care now. That's what it feels like. I put it this way. I find it's real low-hanging fruit to go the route of like an athlete doesn't care. I think that's low-hanging fruit. I think he cares. I don't think he's performing for whatever. Well, I don't know why he's not performing. I don't know if he needs days off. Hopefully the All-Star break is all he'll need, but it doesn't make you feel good when Nick Castellanos steps to the plate. Tavita, do you think they want to keep the original players? Is that regarding the Phillies? Maybe. Oh, just jumped around on me again. Here we go. Tavita, good morning. April, good morning. Mullet, what's going on? Watching in the morning, different feel for me. Down to Jersey. Mullet is in the Jersey Shore. Hope everyone is having a fabulous morning. Mullet, you made the trek. You're back from Okinawa. That's great, man. Manscaped. Mally, hope you manscaped. Thank you. T-Bro, your balls will thank you. You know what? I can only hope that I'll do as good a job as my good friend Trey Thomas in terms of delivering on a Manscaped read. That's what I hope. That's what I hope and dream. Sean Gillespie, good morning. April, fun fact, a lot of ladies use men's toiletry stuff because it's cheaper and normally works better. April, I'm glad you mentioned this. Ladies, do you ever use your husband or your man's razor instead of your own? Do you ever do that? Because I've heard from those close to the situation that you guys steal the razors a lot. Should I just buy my wife a men's razor? Should I just do that? Here's your own. Enjoy yourself. Manscaped, ladyscaped. I don't know. You let me know, ladies. You let me know. Sean, ball spray. Yay! That's how you start your day. That's how you start a Monday. Jim Grassmeter, what's up, buddy? Tavita, hello again. April, nope, just buy men's razors to begin with. See, there you go. There you go. Oh, Mally, thank you for that explanation and description. Good Lord, man. Good Lord. Yeah, April, it's from what I understand, men's razors work better. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys agree? Where is astrology being mentioned? I wouldn't even know what sign I was had it not been for girlfriends. Let's see. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Good to hang out with you guys in the chat once again. Appreciate you. Let's move into our morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, skymotorcars.com. Phillies back at it tonight. 7:15 start time. St. Louis Cardinals. Aaron Nola on the hill. Look, the Phillies right now, if they lose, they're still in the wild card race. We would all like to get the warm and fuzzies from this Phillies team. We would all love to get the warm and fuzzies where they're up 2 games. Went into the series even. They come out of it 2 games up in the wild card spot over the St. Louis Cardinals. We're all crossing our fingers that that's the way it goes down. That's the way we need it to go down. Aaron Nola is going to be under some criticism for not going to be able to pitch north of the border. No one's coming out and flat out saying what's what, but I'm going to go ahead and assume, especially during pandemic and all that, is he was more of the guy to say that it's everybody's own responsibility to do what they feel is right. Bottom line, he ain't going to be pitching in Toronto. So this is going to be one of the last times we see him before the All-Star break. This is a must-win for Aaron Nola. I will say that much. Now, the last time he was out there on the mound, 3 runs, 7 2/3 in a loss to the Nationals. Certainly not Aaron Nola's fault. That was a game that we looked at a lot with Odubel Herrera, who I still think we're seeing too much of. Matt Vierling got the start in center field yesterday. But this is a start that Aaron Nola needs to dominate. Now, his last couple of starts, he's allowed 7 runs over 14 2/3 innings. So this is an opportunity for him to kind of have a shutdown game again. One of those games was against Atlanta. The Phillies ended up winning that game. It was the 14-4 win. He was great. He had pitching, he had run support. He could actually take a little bit of a mental break in the game as opposed to thinking every pitch was the last pitch that he might be throwing. So this is a good example, hopefully today, of him being able to go out there, shut things down, and go ahead and get you a series win and the 2 games up in the wild card before the All-Star break that you'd like to get out of this series. This is a great opportunity for Aaron Nola. It's a great opportunity for these bats to actually get hot because they've cooled off a little bit in this series, with the exception of Kyle Schwarber, who had another home run. But for me, this is a huge game for Aaron Nola because the way you look at this schedule now for the Phillies, like I said, leading up to the All-Star break, this will be possibly he might get one more start against the Miami Marlins because after St. Louis, they got a brief 2-game hit in Toronto, and then they got a 3-game series in Miami. So you'll see him pitch one more time before the first half of the season lets out. As this goes on, though, I just need to see Aaron Nola get back to the way he was pitching 2 starts ago, because that was a guy giving you an opportunity to win every single time he was out for a good 5-game stretch. And I've talked about a lot of instances with Aaron Nola, 2 seasons in particular. One was his Cy Young candidacy, where he went through months at a time. It seemed like month and a half, 2 months of going through starts of giving you at least 7 innings and allowing no more than 2 runs. Those types of runs from Aaron Nola will be a sight for sore eyes as you still look for more power in this lineup, as you still look for more power other than Kyle Schwarber, and you look for more consistent offense from this lineup as well. If Aaron Nola gets that done from the mound, I think the lineup will take care of itself as the first half of the season at least starts to wind down, and then you go into the second half of the season post All-Star break. So that's what I'll be crossing my fingers for tonight. As far as the lineup goes for this evening, all the same stuff applies with Nick Castellanos. All the same stuff applies when it comes to the center field position. Now, Matt Vierling, by the way, who came up with an RBI for you yesterday, and has continued to play well for the Phillies in this lineup. And whenever he's getting opportunities in center field, I feel like he's been doing one hell of a job. Now, you might look at his numbers on the season and you go, okay, 239 batting average, not exactly somebody worth bragging about. But if you look at how it's really broken down most recently, you're talking about a June that he's coming out of where he hit 313 with 3 home runs. This is a guy that I feel like with Mickey Moniak could be in a position to help you a hell of a lot more than Odubel Herrera. Now, I am still in the school of give Mickey Moniak more at-bats. Let's see if he can sink or swim. But when you think about the DH position that you now have in the National League, you could have a center fielder out there like Mickey Moniak, who I think covers more ground than anybody else that they could roll out there in center field, including Matt Vierling. And that's giving Matt Vierling his props as a decent center fielder. But I think Mickey Moniak, glove-wise, could be a hell of a center fielder for you as well. From the plate, he's got a lot of making up to do. No question about that. But if you want to give guys breaks down the line, guys like Nick Castellanos or maybe Schwarber goes to the DH role a little bit more, that might be an opportunity for the Phillies to get some of these younger guys more at bats and also get a better defensive center fielder out there like Mickey Moniak. Maybe that's revealing moves over to left field and can spell Kyle Schwarber from a timeout there. And yes, Castellanos would still be in right. It's something that the Phillies are going to have to decide on down the line, and Derek Hall isn't making things easy for them as he's got to start at first base yesterday and played okay there. But as far as his bat goes, definitely major league ready. As far as that bat goes, you're going to see the league adjust to him, and he's got to be able to adjust to that. We went over why I have confidence that he can do that last week. But there's some little tweaks that this Phillies lineup is going to need to make, and some little tweaks that they're going to need to make in the field. And I think Rob Thompson is going to be somebody that's going to be all over that in the coming weeks, especially taking time to maybe reevaluate things at the All-Star break. But when you look at how they have played through the managerial change, it has been, I use this a lot, but sight for sore eyes as far as I'm concerned. And hopefully the Phillies can keep that going in the second half. Well, first off, let's take care of business that's right in front of them, which is just winding the first half of the season down with wins and putting things in place so that when they do come back from the All-Star break, they can pick up right from where they left off. And that starts by winning this series against the Cardinals, taking care of business in Toronto, north of the border, despite, hey, it's 2 games. So maybe despite some hardships, we'll be able to do that. And then go down and just do what you should be doing all year, which is beating the Marlins. They finally got that monkey off their back thanks to our man Garrett Stubbs with the walk-off homer to win that series a couple of weeks ago. This will be another example, hopefully, the Phillies ending things on a more positive note going into the second half of the year. And then, we could talk about the trade deadline. We could talk about little ways to make this team better. But ultimately, if you're able to get a guy back in this lineup like Bryce Harper, late August, early September, and you're still in that wild card spot, then one word comes to mind: solidify. Solidify a playoff spot. And then let's see what you got, Dave Dombrowski. Let's see what you can shore up, whether it's another bullpen arm. And I saw Matt Gelb put this out yesterday after Yari's Familia struggled. But it's just like, why even here? In a close game in particular, why even here? Well, you were down arms and it was a bullpen game. That's why. And that's unfortunate. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's why. But if you can go out there, get another bullpen arm, go out there, maybe get a center fielder, maybe get some help. I don't think the Phillies are in position right now to look at Derek Hall and go, oh, he should be playing first base, trade Rhys Hoskins. I don't think that happens. I don't think they're going to part ways with Rhys Hoskins. I know some people are rooting for that. I just don't think that's I don't think that's the route the Phillies are going to go. I think the Phillies are going to be thinking tweaks, not overhaul. And I think they're also going to be thinking along the same lines of, wow, if this is still close and we get Bryce Harper back in September, we're as good as in the playoffs. Let's hope that's the way things go for the Phillies as things go on. So, again, Phillies back at it against the Cardinals. Hopefully they go for the series win. Elsewhere, the Braves won again yesterday. The Mets lost, which is nice, but the Braves won. Basically, the Braves and the Mets are on just a totally different level. I will say, just being up in New York and going to a brewery up there, they're actually really excited about the Mets again. Maybe not so much as of late because they haven't been as hot lately as they have been for most of the season, but they're a game and a half now up on the Braves. And then, of course, if the Braves do end up overtaking them, because they seem like they can't lose, they won on the Austin Riley hit yesterday. But if the Braves overtake the Mets, then the Mets just fall right into that wild card spot. So it looks like you're going to have a couple of teams, if the season ended today, from the NL East making the postseason. I'll continue to monitor Summer League as that goes on. Hopefully Jaden Springer can continue to take some steps forward for himself and improve on that jump shot. We'll continue to monitor that and also get you a new versus game question by the end of the day today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. Much appreciated. You guys are fantastic. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Sean Gillespie, that's a first. Odubel is the owner's secret son. It's quite possible. Mally, can Vierling just be the center fielder and just never put Herrera back in the game? Yeah, that's what we're all going for. That's what I'm hoping for. You guys are great. Jim Hyder produced the program, did a phenomenal job. This is a Buzz Sports and Entertainment production. My name is Marc Farzy. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow, hopefully talking about a Phillies series victory. Take it easy, everybody. See ya.